You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
Radio Row SEC Football Media Days, Day 1. The Tigers kicking it off. Senior running back Josh Williams, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. How are you, man?
Doing well.
Bro, you went heavy on the purple and gold threads. All right, explain the fit for me first.
It's my dad's idea. He wanted to go LSU all out, and I kind of just wanted to be more brown, chill.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, well, let's go with the eyes inside. So we got the LSU Tigers eyes inside of the suit.
Show that camera right there.
So, yeah, this is pretty cool.
I gotta get a picture of it too. For those listening, not watching, I will tweet a picture right here. I will tweet the picture.
Yeah,
That's fire. Who did the suit?
My dad's friend in Dallas, I believe. I have to get the name. I'll get the name.
All right, man. I mean, so you're from Houston though, and your story is one that I think most people who love college football will look and relate to, because I mean it's an underdog story, right?
Right.
Do you identify yourself in that way?
I don't necessarily identify in that way, but I have embraced it. I will say that. I will say that in high school I never really went to any football camps, so I never necessarily thought that I would even have a chance to get scholarships. So I knew I would have to, if I wanted to play on that level, I knew I would have to walk on to get there. So when I got there, I knew that it was going to be a struggle. It was going to be some ups and downs, especially being there in the 2019 year with one of the best teams of all time.
Yeah.
I already knew what it was, so I didn't whine. I knew what the business side was. My dad explained to me, like, hey, this isn't high school. This is a business. This is a cash flow business that they're trying to win the national championship, and it's not about who he likes more. It's about who's going to give him the best chance to win the game. So once I understood the business side of it, I kind of changed my whole perspective on a lot of things.
Is there a moment where, when you got to school, so I think this is the first time you and I have actually had a chance to talk. Was there a moment when you got to school where you looked around and went, man, like, I'm not ready yet?
No, definitely. I mean, I came into LSU as a freshman walk-on that nobody knows, and then I got hurt like 2 weeks later and 3 weeks later, and then I'm just in the back burner. Nobody knows who I am, and I'm in the background of the year, So I just kind of like, I had a lot of talks with my dad, a lot of deep talks with my dad, and he just basically told me, like, hey, life isn't about like all positivity. You're gonna have some adversity. This is what life is about. Like, if you really want this, this is what you're gonna have to do. So he said he couldn't help me. Like, I can be there and talk to you all you want, but you're just something that you're gonna have to go out and do as a man on your own. So I took that to heart, and I was like, yes, sir.
It's great perspective. Josh Williams is with us. Just one follow-up to that. Was there a moment where you felt like you did belong, where you're like, yeah, I'm here?
Yeah, there was definitely some situations where you said, like, I felt like I did good.
Where you're like, yeah, man.
And then I maybe didn't get the reps I felt like I deserved afterwards. Yeah, sometimes I felt like I was doing better than most guys, and I didn't get the quote-unquote the reward or whatever. But it never stopped me. It doesn't really even faze me, honestly. I don't have to be the best guy on the team or everybody in everybody's face. It's not about that for me. It's never has been. So I'm just excited to be here and this opportunity, honestly.
One of the things we talked about a lot last year, I remember T-Bob and I do a post-game show, and remember we got toward the end of the season, or maybe middle of the season, someone said, of all the guys on the roster, if you need a yard, and I know someone's going to give me two and is going to hold on to the ball, it's like, I want Josh to carry the ball. And it's odd because we all do have that perception of, okay, well, you were a walk-on, and there's other guys who are 4- and 5-star guys or whatever. And, like, you took on this leadership role in the offense. Is that something that it was intentional for you? Because some guys are very vocal. They want to be the leader up front. Some guys, it's more just,
I'm opposite. I'm not the vocal leader. I'm not the guy to speak up and talk. That's not me at all. I'm the opposite guy. I'd rather go out there and just lead by my actions and I'd rather go up to somebody and talk to them one-on-one and have that relationship with them rather than yell to the whole team and tell everybody what to do. That's more my approach on the thing. But Coach Kelly sat me down. After the season, he said he wanted me to become more of a vocal leader, especially with me going through this injury this past spring, not being able to be on the field as much and actually be out there physically. So I really took the time to become more of a vocal leader and be confident in talking and speaking to people.
How healthy are you? How you feel?
I'm 100%. I got cleared a week after the spring game, so I've been going full go this whole summer with the team runs, the workouts, everything. So
did such a difference this year going into the season than a year ago? I'm sure you had to answer this a ton today, but there's a lot of running backs in the room now. Adding Logan Diggs and bringing in the 2 freshmen, Armani's healthy again. Like, do you all talk about like how do you feed that many mouths?
Well, ultimately, we all understand that Coach Kelly is the one that puts the player in the game. You all understand that. So it's not up to us. We also understand that this isn't about who is going to play the most reps and who gets to do this and who gets to do that. This is strictly about who's going to give us the best chance to win the game. So I understand that if Coach Kelly wants to go with Logan, that's his grand decision on what he wants to go with to win the game. It's the same thing. I look at it, this is my perspective on it. If I'm playing Madden, and
I love where he's going.
I'm playing Madden, and I'm playing with the All-Star team, and I got Barry Sanders in the game, and say I'm the coach. I control the game, so I want to put Bo Jackson in the game. Doesn't mean that one of the two one is better than the other. It's just my personal opinion on what I think should go for the game right now at this place and time. So we all understand that, and I think once you understand that, you become closer as a team, become more of a brotherhood, because now you're not fighting against, oh, I'm getting more reps than him. Now it's more like, hey, Josh, go out there and get that 2 yards, man. Before we count on you, man. Like, it's more like that, you know. And I think that's what separates the teams and from the families, you know.
Man, I was watching during the SEC takeover. They replayed the Alabama game.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're going to get asked about the game for the rest of your life, right? You realize that?
I love that.
Good.
I love that.
The touchdown, the goal-to-go touchdown you had, where you were wrapped and kind of spun. You know, of course, you know, for the benefit of the audience, who maybe, like, is there something like you remember about that play, or that game, or the celebration, or the moment, like the whole thing that went? Because again, the rest of your life, people are going to ask you about that game. What's the first thing that's going to come to your mind when people ask you about that forever?
About that game? Definitely that block I made for Jaden. Definitely that block. Yeah, I would say that was something that we talked about in the running back room with Coach Frank, and he was saying like, hey, this is what the extra effort. This is what we need to do. This is what being going the extra mile looks like. And it wasn't our tape. It was somebody else that he had found, like some old tape of running back going downfield getting a block, and he introduced that to the beginning of the year. And I mean, every day of practice, he would have us running out. Like even if we wouldn't get the ball, have us running out. So as we got to the game, it was already kind of like second nature. Plus the timing of the game with it being so close and everything. So I had all the adrenaline in the world, and it was just a part of my whole deal at that point.
The touchdown, the celebration, the win, and you bring up a block.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You realize how unorthodox that is.
Yeah. I mean, but I take pride in blocks, though. I always have, because that's the only way I could get on the field. So I take pride in that stuff.
I have a feeling you're going to be on the field a lot more than just for that reason this year. A lot of expectations around the 2023 Tigers. Senior running back Josh Williams. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.